The Psychology of a Man in Love, Why Men Love Differently. Have you ever looked at a man and wondered, if he really loves me, why doesn't he show it the way I expect? It's one of the biggest questions in relationships. Many people assume that if someone truly loves you, they should constantly express their emotions, talk openly about their feelings, and reassure you every day. But psychology tells a far more complex story. The truth is, men don't love less than women. In many cases, they simply express love differently. To understand why, we need to look beyond stereotypes and examine how emotional development, childhood experiences, attachment styles, and social expectations shape the male mind. From an early age, many boys receive the same messages over and over again. Be strong. Don't cry. Handle it yourself. Over time, these messages become deeply rooted in the brain. They don't remove emotions, they teach boys to hide them. As adults, many men still experience fear, anxiety, loneliness, disappointment, and heartbreak just as intensely as anyone else. The difference is that many have learned to process these emotions privately, rather than openly. This is one reason why a man in love may appear calm on the outside while experiencing an emotional storm internally. One of the most misunderstood aspects of male psychology is the way many men communicate affection. According to relationship researchers, many men are more likely to express love through behavior rather than emotional language. Instead of repeatedly saying, I love you, they may fix something that is broken, help solve a problem, drive across town to be there when you need them, or quietly make sacrifices without mentioning them. To them, these actions are expressions of love. Unfortunately, if a partner expects love to be communicated mainly through words, these actions may go unnoticed. Another fascinating psychological difference appears during conflict. Many women interpret silence as emotional distance. Many men experience silence as emotional regulation. When stress levels rise, the brain enters a protective state. For many men, especially those who grew up believing emotions should be controlled, the first response is often withdrawal. This doesn't automatically mean they have stopped caring. In many cases, they are trying to calm their nervous system before continuing the conversation. Ironically, this creates one of the most common cycles in relationships. One partner wants immediate communication to feel secure. The other needs temporary space to regain emotional control. The more one pursues, the more the other withdraws. Psychologists often refer to this as the pursue-withdraw cycle, and it appears in thousands of relationships around the world. Another important factor is self-worth. Research suggests that many men connect their identity closely to competence. When work is going well, goals are being achieved, and they feel capable, they often become more emotionally available. But when they experience failure, unemployment, financial pressure, or personal disappointment, they may emotionally withdraw, not because love disappeared, but because their self-confidence has been shaken. Their silence may have far more to do with shame than with a lack of affection. Attachment theory also helps explain why men behave so differently in relationships. People with a secure attachment style generally feel comfortable expressing emotions and depending on others. Those with an avoidant attachment style often value independence so strongly that emotional closeness feels uncomfortable, even when they genuinely love someone. This doesn't mean avoidant people don't experience deep love. It means vulnerability may feel unfamiliar or even unsafe. One of the biggest myths about men is that they don't need emotional safety. In reality, they do. Many men open up only after they believe they won't be judged, mocked, or criticized for revealing weakness. Once psychological safety is established, many become dramatically more affectionate, playful, emotionally expressive, and honest than they appeared at the beginning of the relationship. Another common misunderstanding is assuming that love should always feel exciting. Psychologists have found that intense passion naturally changes over time. As relationships mature, the brain shifts from the excitement of novelty toward deeper attachment, trust, and emotional security. Some people mistake this change for falling out of love. Often, it's simply the brain entering a more stable stage of connection. Of course, none of this means every man behaves the same way. Personality, culture, childhood experiences, trauma, emotional intelligence, and life circumstances all influence how someone loves. Psychology helps us recognize patterns, not predict every individual. Perhaps the most important lesson is this. Healthy relationships begin when we stop expecting others to love exactly the way we do. Instead of asking, why isn't he loving me like I would? A better question might be, what language of love is he trying to speak? And am I able to recognize it? Because sometimes love isn't hidden. It's simply being expressed in a language we've never learned to understand. If you enjoyed this psychological deep dive into human behavior and relationships, subscribe for more videos exploring the hidden patterns of the human mind.